So, Payday 3. Let me start off by saying Payday 2, in some ways, is actually the better game.
Well, Payday 2 been out for a long time, so of course it's better.
There's this retarded misconception that anytime a sequel comes out, it has to start from fucking scratch again. That all the things the company has learned with Payday 2 and Payday 1 just gets thrown in the fucking trash and we need to start from square one again. You think that a live service game means we need to reboot the motherfucker and act like we've never created a video game before? Why on earth are we forced to sit there in matchmaking when we're playing solo? Like, what the actual fuck is that? And I don't want to hear your fanboy theory. I want them to tell us why that is the case. Why do you not value the time of somebody attempting to play solo? And not only are the AI teammates still complete shit, it's like in some ways they're even worse. This company is clearly trying to nudge you towards the multiplayer because that's where all the peer pressure happens when it comes to skins and microtransactions. And it's just a matter of time before those floodgates open. And the graphics, holy shit, they're glaringly dated. Here's the thing, I know the game's not a full price game, but let's not act like they didn't make a ton of money on this franchise. Guys, can we have slightly better standards, please? And just because gameplay is king or whatever, it doesn't justify the visuals being so fucking dated. With this type of game specifically, it would help the immersion if it looked more realistic. And I just feel when it comes to visual fidelity, I was hoping Payday 3 would deliver something more closer to today's standards, okay? If it doesn't matter to you, that's great. I personally would have liked to have seen bigger improvements in that area. And before I forget, what happened to the ability to kick somebody from your team? Is that option still there and I'm just missing it? Or do we just have to deal with the son of a bitch that's fucking around or won't follow directions? Like we're just forced to either restart our game or whatever? I mean, that just seems like such an oversight. I tried to search online about it. I couldn't find anything. I did find some people defending it though, saying it's a good thing it's removed. They would go on to say how the kick option was abused. I feel like anyone that would think that is either not following directions themselves, very hard to play with. Because in all my time playing Payday 1 and Payday 2, I could probably count on one hand how many times I was kicked from a match, and I probably deserved it if I did get kicked. I also liked how they handled us finding other players to play with better in Payday 2. The map, the interface was pretty cool. I'm not sure why they did away with that. Perhaps it has something to do with this always online bullshit. In some ways it feels like Payday 2.5. In other ways it feels like Payday 1.5, where it's actually taking a step back. But it's worth mentioning, Payday 2 ran like dog shit on console. I'm not sure how it is on next gen, but it looked like shit, it ran like shit. Payday 3 is off to a much better start when it comes to performance and technical issues. However, there was an issue with the PlayStation version. I guess PlayStation uploaded the wrong build or some shit. You can't really blame the Payday developers for that, but what you can blame them for is early access, how that went. People that paid a premium to play early couldn't play early. Not even Nostradamus would have had the foresight to see that thousands of people all signing up on a shitty website all at once would have disastrous effects. Who would have thought? The way I see it is, anytime that happens, we should get a partial refund. Okay, if we're not getting the game as promised, we should get some money back. It's common sense. If these companies aren't actually getting punished for conducting business this way, well then nothing is going to change, and it's going to continue to happen, and it has been continuing. If there were actual consequences like a class action lawsuit, then maybe things would change. It's easy for me to say don't buy these early access editions, these companies, these greedy motherfuckers taxing our anticipation, but I know in this day and age, content creation, early access is everything. These companies know that and they're exploiting it. Uploading content days after everyone else is putting yourself in a disadvantage. You can't expect to compete on this platform, especially in the time of year where games are coming out left and right. And so from a content creation point of view, trying to make money on this platform, getting the early edition of these games is like a business decision. I get all that. And so don't these greedy ass companies. But as far as the game is concerned, it just seems like the developers are reusing a lot of stuff. The same skills, even the icons look the same. Look guys, I'm not expecting or wanting a radical departure from say Payday 2. I was just hoping for a step forward in a couple different ways, and it just seems like it's more of a sideways step. However, for a lot of Payday fans, that's going to be enough. They're just happy to get more Payday game, and that's what they got. The game better give me a freaking blowjob if I'm waiting 10 plus minutes.